give you an opinion or observation about that.
Please.
Heidi told me about you all, and I listened a couple times, heard that bell, and wondered what's going on with that. But when I got the email from Cindy, I thought I'll do a little homework, so I went back and listened to several, maybe from last summer. And I don't want to make this a long story, but we got paired up with people in private higher ed a few years ago, and my partner was from another university. He was a math prof. And our only goal was to help each other get better at teaching.
Yeah.
And so his chief complaint was that he was a math prof. So he'd go up to the board and he'd give them, calculus and all this stuff, and he'd give them a formula. He'd show them how to do it, and then he'd turn around and they'd look at him with a blank stare and not really know what was going on. And they never really picked it up. And so we kept talking about that, and he was really frustrated. And so I said, well, how about if I come down and watch you teach and such as that? So I did, and I realized this one thing, and it reminded me, watching you guys reminded me of this, is that he would give them a complex formula. He would go to the board, he would do it silently, and he'd turn around and he'd want them to do it. And I simply asked him, I said, what would happen if you spoke out loud and just said what you were thinking while you're doing it? Well, that was the magic pellet for him, because now they could learn by hearing his thinking.
Sure.
And so as I'm listening to you guys, I think you do just that. You don't have quick, snappy answers to stuff.
Right.
I hear you say, "I don't know more than anything." Or I think this last week, Paul goes, "I don't know about this. Help me out here."
Yeah.
And I think that's the thinking that helps us theologically. Is the broader clergy is really able to answer questions, but like the math professor, if we don't help them see our thinking process and kind of hear us muddle through it, then they're just taking our word for it, and that really doesn't, I don't think, help them learn in the long run.
Right.
So that's
cool.
That's what I really think you guys do, and it's funny and it's great, and you make the stuff come alive, and you give everybody else a chance. I shouldn't say everybody. You give me a chance to go, okay, I don't have to be so rigid about that, or I
Do you
can
mind
relax
writing
a little
that
bit.
in a review on iTunes for us?
Is this the podcast where I get to open up a couple fingers of bourbon or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that this one?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's for sure. I'm glad you said that without prompting, because I believe that's literally what, and I think Paul, actually, you started that idea of, what if you observed parishioners liking to hear pastors talk and think through things. Like, what are they actually thinking before they get in the pulpit? And how many times do people ask you, how do you write a sermon? I get that. It's a weird question to me, but all the time, I think it blows their minds. Like, first of all, public speaking, but also like, how do you come up with this? And I think I'm glad you said that without us having to spoon feed that is what you're observing. I think that is what's kind of, that's our goal, actually, I think.
Yeah.